Alright, here we are. We got our head, valve heads bolted back in. These bolts that actually go through the top are 18 foot-pounds. This little guy right here that you go back up into the case with is 104 inch-pounds. I'll try and remember to go through some of the specifics on this stuff for anybody that cares. I've never been real particular about torquing things down to spec. Just try not to break them and make sure they're snug. Call me stupid. Maybe you can relate. Alright, you can see I've begun putting the pipes back on. Got a hand from my wife to do this part. These pegs will only fit one way, so it seems a little confusing trying to stick them back on, but there's only one way they'll fit on each side, so pretty hard to screw up. Over here you can see I've already started to bolt on the number 2 exhaust. Now what you found when you pulled yours apart, I don't know if I talked about these, but you've got these little gasket fittings, so to speak. Those slide on each side of the exhaust up here. Then you put this actual coupling over top of both of them, tighten them down, and that's what holds the exhaust in the head there. So alright, I get the other side bolted up, and looks like I'm gonna start putting my camshafts back in and rockers, and then we'll move on from there to the head and reinstalling my radiator. Alright, getting my camshaft set in here now. If you'll notice right there, the horizontal line that's not focusing, IN for intake. Notice the lobes on the cylinder number 2 are pointed to the rear of the bike. Right now you see that white line and the 2 next to it, showing that cylinder number 2 is the top dead center, which is where we want it to be, and we want that line to line up with the top of the case. The next step is to make this one with the EX do the exact same thing. A little tricky to do without causing the engine to spin. It may take 2 or 3 tries to get that tooth right where you want it, but you're going to insert it in the chain and roll it into place for the most part. When you're working on the rest of this, while you're pulling on the chain trying to get this head back together and everything, it's pretty likely that this is going to spin on you, and it's going to spin going counterclockwise. So before you do anything with installing this, double check that it's on number 2 top dead center, and you're going to want to spin this 14mm bolt clockwise. You won't have to go very far, maybe an inch or 2, and you should find your 2T mark. I'm going to get this second one set in here, and not forget to shove the rocker arms in before we bolt this stuff down. We'll go from there. Okay, batteries are getting a little low. This might be the last video. Probably covered enough, maybe too much. See, I got my rockers in place, rocker arms. Not sure if I covered this before, but the intake and the exhaust, on the back of these gears, they are marked. That one, too bad for the glare. There we go, you can see EX next to that bolt, and on this side there is an IN, intake. That's how you differentiate between these two if there's some confusion. They are nearest that bolt. Those markings are also on the opposite sides, so you're going to see 2, but the one that's nearest that bolt is the one you're going for. Okay, so maybe you noticed my video skipped, maybe you didn't. You can see I've already started to put this back together, put the rockers in. In case you've not done this before, make sure you put your rocker arms in before you start to bolt everything else down. Then it's going to be near impossible to do the right way. And the most difficult out of all 8 of these is going to be this guy right here. Be real careful. You're probably going to drop it down the chain well. That's where that magnet's going to come in real handy. The only thing I'm going to cover here, and I'm going to end the video on this because from here you should be able to figure it out pretty easily. You need to go in the correct order, bolting these back down. Alright, you're going to start back here. This is going to be the first piece you put on. This is bolt number 1 you're going to tighten. Then you're going to tighten bolt number 2 right here. Then you're going to come back. You're going to put this on second. This is going to be bolt number 1 you tighten. This is going to be bolt number 2. And the same thing back here. You're going to go this piece first, this piece second, and tighten 1, 2, 1, 2. Then you're going to go back and put that chain guard on. There's a specific order just the same for it, but not as big an issue. So there you guys go. Just a few bolts to get back on. I'll check my clearances. A pretty easy thing to do. Just make sure the cylinder is set at top dead center for number 2, and I could check 1, 2, 3, 4 back there on the cylinder number 2. I can crank this around to 1T, and then I can check the lobes for cylinder number 1. Pretty easy stuff there. That's where this lock nut and the screw come in. This lock nut is a 9mm, and then you can use like not electrician's, but an electronic screwdriver if you got a small flathead. You should only be making minute adjustments to these. So you just loosen that lock nut a little bit, and then twist the screw to the right if you want to increase, I should say decrease the gap, and loosen it. Go to the left if you need to increase it. And that's all you guys need. I'll get this back together, and I'll show you the final bike firing up, and hopefully all my problems are gone from here. Alright, there it is. I'll put it back together. Getting ready to leave for work. So neutral, choke is on, flip that. We're good to go.